All right, what's up, guys? I wanted to talk to you real quick about a couple things, okay? A couple of different things. Man, I'm looking at this kitchen. It looks pretty good, right? Not too long ago, I was in living with roommates, kind of in a house, not this nice, but it was a bigger house. But I only had like my little room. It was tiny, my little spot. And then I made a little bit more money and I moved across the hall to the master bedroom. So I was leveling up and I stayed there, but I was still living with roommates. And at 31 years old, you got to have your own spot. I mean, that's how I felt, right? And I felt the pressure to think about it, guys. Think about this for a second with me, real quick. I was drinking a lot, way too much. I was going out, and I went through a breakup, and that just that alone was enough. But then I looked at my living situation. I'm like, dude, come on, like you should be farther ahead. You should be like killing it. But you want to know the reality? I kind of just gave up. That was part of the reason why I drank. It allowed me to kind of numb all my feelings and be like kind of just get through the week, make it through Thursday or Friday, and then just ignore my reality, my soul, because your soul has ambitions. And your spirit is yearning for something more, and it's yearning for God. You have to realize that. But these foods and the alcohol and whatever other vices can numb and push all of that stuff down, and that's what it was doing to me. And but I basically had a wake up call. We all have wake up calls. Is that wake up call? Are you gonna listen to it? And my wake up call, I said, enough is enough. I hired a mentor, a coach, and I started on my path. And I said, it was like I said in one of my last videos, it was the first time I sat down and I opened up my hands and I just surrendered to God. One point I want to make to you guys is when I talk about surrendering and spiritual words like that, you will naturally do it. And I think it's so fascinating that your body will do things when you really go all in and give up something. I gave up. I literally said, I'm done. When you do that, your body will put itself in a prayerful position. I was in a position of surrendering. This is a position of surrender. When you get on your knees, you are surrendering. And I don't know why I did it. I didn't know anything about that. And I started saying I basically recited a prayer. My heart was praying at that moment. But I just want, what's that saying? There's a saying, never waste a good crisis. Never waste a good crisis. When adversity hits, when pain comes in your life, that is the greatest time to reveal something about yourself, something about God. God is talking to you at that point, and it's a great time to level up. It's a great time to change. It's a great time to prune. During that time, I called it pruning season because I had people in my life I should have been long gone away from. Even myself, I had to cut off parts of myself. Emotional pruning I had to do as well. Physical pruning, I had to get in shape. I had to get rid of that too. So any of you guys who are just starting out on your journey, maybe you're in need of a pruning season. And once you get all off that and you get off all the fat every which way, then you take a step to build and add. The topic that I wanted to talk about was real quick about where you're headed in life, journaling, okay? I use these journals. I have two of them, okay? So I have this one, I have this. I go through these quite a bit, and this is all for writing out your vision, and your vision should evolve as you reach goals, as you reach your goals, as you evolve, your vision will change. And I use this to really imagine. I imagine in my mind and really write out my ambitions. And you have to realize that your vision should change. If you're really growing, you'll have new desires and new ambitions for your life. And so you also have to realize that God also has his ambitions for your life as well. You put those in here too, because you have to make God's will your will at the same time. So it's like, you have to ask yourself, what is God's purpose for my life? What must I do? Sometimes when I'm praying, I'll say like, God, give me the wisdom and the words and the courage to lead my people. And then I correct myself and I'm like, hold on, to lead our people. And so it's pretty beautiful. I get corrected in real time. It's all good. It's just training zone. As you really connect with above, you get taught, to be honest with you. So in order to level up, I want you to realize that first you actually have to confess. I know confession's a kind of crazy word, but you have to confess your current level. There is a gap, okay? So let's say there's a version of you that's out there on this side that's confident, that's headed for your 10.0 self. Let's say multi-millionaire, maybe clothing brand, maybe mansion, cars. You have a community of like-minded individuals. You have a family. You have kids. You live a great life. Maybe you're a public figure. Maybe, I don't know, whatever that vision, it's over here. But then there's also a reality where you currently are. So you have these two realities right here. This one is the one I want you to focus on right now, is do not be one of those delusional people who's like, yeah, I'm blessed and highly favored. I'm going to get there. That's all great. I have nothing to say, because I am a big proponent on literally calling your shot and really going for it, like making it plain, writing it out. I love all that. I've made my life off of that. But there's this other side that it's the harder side. It's the darker truth. You aren't just who you aren't who you are just based off of what you say and what you write. You are who you are and who you confess you are. So let me explain what that means. You are who you are on your worst day. You are who you are during adversity. You are who you are behind closed doors. So what does that really look like? That looks like, so I coach a lot of people, and these are things that I bring out of people that could look like, hey, I'm not cheating on my girl. I ain't doing all that. I ain't going to strip clubs, but I drink too much and I watch a gang of porn. Could be that. You know what I'm saying? Some real cold, hard truth. I might be doing drugs. I might be addicted to, maybe not street drugs, but I'm addicted to pharmaceutical drugs. Okay? I might be looking at girls on social media, on Instagram, where I might have a fake account on here. I don't know. I don't do any of that weird. I'm just making stuff up at this point. But there's a part of all of us that we have to really get honest, because these two versions that I'm talking about, where you're headed and where you currently are, in the middle is the opportunity gap. That gap is your level up zone. And if you aren't able to be like, hey, this is my reality, this is what I do, and it's just like AA. It's like, what is the first thing that they do when you go to AA? They make you admit what you are. Because if you can't confess that, you ain't ready to level up. You ain't ready to receive anymore if you don't admit your current level. So that's your first step. Look at your reality and be like, what the heck do I do? Ask yourself this question. What do you know that you need to change? you know, your conscience. Give yourself 30 seconds. You'll know. I wake up too late. I fall off my diet. Should be working out. And yeah, I should be putting down that drink in the weed pen. I shouldn't watch porn. Things like that. You'll know in an instant. What is the first thing? What is the first thing that the Holy Spirit is going to do when he gets around you? He's going to convict you. You going to feel it. You're going to feel that conviction. But that conviction is only there to correct you. It's just to be like, hey, I know you've been ignoring it, but hey, that's all that he's doing. And then your job is to start correcting it and making those moves. So if you want this 10.0 life, I wrote on this journal, spell it into existence, write that out. But then also look at where you're slipping and then start tomorrow. Start making the changes. That's all that needs to happen. And one thing that I didn't say was when you write out your vision, the second thing that you must do is write out who you need to become to achieve that vision. So everything that you're doing on this side, all your bad stuff, you got to get rid of that. So there's a certain part of you that has to die off, and you have to create the version that gets up early, the version that eats right, he hits his macros, that version that speaks positively to himself, that version that thinks highly of himself, that version that prays, that reads his Bible, whatever that version is that's going to get you to your end ultimate vision and beyond. Because the path illuminates as you walk it. You're just going to keep evolving. You can't ever, you're never going to see where you're going to be in 20 years if you don't achieve what you should be achieving in 2 years. Achieve where you should be in 2 years. That way you can go to the next evolution of your life, your character, to where God really wants you to go. So that's the level up. I hope that helps you. And I have literally changed my life by writing in my journal. And I know it'll change your life too. Hope you guys like that video. Make sure you comment down below if this resonated with you. Like, I want to know your feedback. I want to know if you're catching these gems and if this is helping you. All right.